Same old Red Sox. Struggles continue, and we are back. Leslie, what the actual hell?
That's such a good question because if you'd asked me on Sunday after we won this series in Kansas City, which, by the way, huge fan of having been in all three games and living here, it was so much fun to take the series. I mean, it would have been great to sweep. Um, but super fun to be there for winning the series and shutting the Kansas City people up. I will tell you the highlight of my night on Friday night, though, was as a Ted Lasso fan, Jason Sudeikis, and I have no idea what his real name is in real life, but Coach Beard were at the hotel I ended up staying at on Saturday night, or Friday night rather, and it was, I didn't go over to say anything to them because they were in depth conversation, I think, playing chess, but just seeing them in real life was so much fun. I think they were there for one of the women Kansas City soccer games. Actually, they were doing something for that, probably in conjunction with the latest of Ted Lasso, if anybody's a fan. So that was my highlight Friday, since it went into extras and the Sox ended up losing. Also got to meet Dustin Pedroia, which was super fun. It kind of took me by surprise that he was sitting in the regular seats with regular people. Not that he's
I
not a
was like,
regular
why is
person.
he there? I just didn't understand why he was
So
there.
I found out something that actually made sense because I kept thinking, is this like with everything that was going on with Raffy Devers? I was like, is there like something there? Like what the deal is?
Yeah.
Um, and then someone said, oh, it's just taking time off with the kids and the wife. The thing that made sense was someone said his kids were huge Bobby Wood Jr. fans. And I was like, that would make sense. And then he could see like his Red Sox peeps in conjunction with going to a Royals game. But he was there the whole series, I think. He was definitely there Saturday because I saw him there on Saturday as well. But yeah, it was absolutely insane. And then ownership was also at the game on Friday, which was wild. Because I swear to everything the holy, I saw John Henry up in the suites, and then I saw Sam Kennedy and Brez down on the field. And I was going, what in the world? What in the world? This is bananas. And I'm trying to explain to my friend that I went with what's going on. Luckily, I was sitting next to on the other side of me was a Red Sox fan. And we had the most fun talking about all things Red Sox. And I felt sorry for his wife and the person I came with because we were just yapping away on all things Sox and all the inside jokes with Section 10 and all the
Right.
things because we both had our phones up to our ear for tied in the eighth. So on Friday. But yeah, it was wild. But it was so much fun to witness a series win. All that excitement wasted for the absolute decimation of them for the next three games against Detroit. So awesome. But I will say on Friday night, Dobbins did a phenomenal job pitching, I
Right.
think. So, yay him. In fact, he could, in my opinion, maybe move up and take Tanner Houck's position if we want to get to game one of the Detroit series. 14-2 loss. Amazing.
And you know what's really crazy is like we're in the American League East and we're still in second place.
Actually, tied for a second, though. I believe with the Jays. Yeah.
No, we have one. We have one win still over them for
Oh,
now.
sorry, not on my phone. I'm looking at it right now, but that's all right. Either way. Oh, one more
It's
win. Yes, we're games back. I was looking at games back. My apologies.
no
So,
problem. I mean,
yeah.
we were going. The Royals were in third place. Tigers with our sweep, they're still in first. It was going to be a grudge match of a game anyway. We're facing Royals tied for second, and then Tigers were first in their American League Central. It was going to be a tough series overall, but I still thought that we should have at least pulled it out and
At
won at
least take
least.
one. And I am so sick
Yeah.
of losing a game by one run.
Oh, I know.
Unbelievable. actually.
It's this is the Red Sox way right now. It's the way it's been the last few years.
I
Pitching
know, but now we've actually spent money, which is my deepest fear is that it's going to continue this and then John Henry will never spend another dime
again.
again for 4
And then
years
and
because he
then
saw
what's
what
Cora gonna
happened.
do? Then it's like, what's Cora gonna do? Are we gonna fire him eventually? Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna keep being a puppet? I don't know what's gonna happen with this situation. And the way the Devers situation,
That's the
Casas
thing that has me
situation,
pissy right now is that
right? I don't understand these. I don't understand these ball players nowadays.
I
So
don't, and I will say it. I mean, I know I'm old, like I'm an old. It's
yeah,
fine.
yes,
I am definitely of that generation, though, that your boss told you to do something. You certainly don't call a press conference and tell the press about it, and how much you think he hates you, and how could he ask you, ask this of you, and you have X, Y, Z. Not that I don't understand his points that he's making, because I do.
mm, hmm
We did, in fact, tell you that you're done playing in the field and you're DH and that's what you're going to do. And I understand the logic of now we're asking you to move to first. And I don't know that it's a forever scenario. Could be. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't, I'm not in Breslow's head. But your boss still asks you to do something, you just do it. I mean, every single person I've ever worked with in life, your boss tells you to do something, you do it. You can question them and you can question their judgment, but at the end of the day, if that decision doesn't work out, then it's on them. But the way he went about it now, I feel like I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense. I just if he would have just done what he was told and we didn't know about all the disagreement, I think that judgment is still on Breslow for making that call at putting him at first. But now I know of the issues that Devers has, and just the absolute unwillingness to embrace that role. And I don't know. That just hits me weird, and I'm sure it's an age thing, as I've come to find out talking with other people, because people my age and older typically feel the way I feel about it than the younger people, tend to think. It's just no, it's not fair, and you should, And I not that, again, not that I don't understand what Raffy's saying. I completely understand it. I agree with what he's saying, but at the end of the day, your boss asks you to do something, so. Um, that's where I'm at. What do you think, Gino? Which side are you falling on this one?
I'm in the middle. I think it's even though I do think he would be fine at first.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he gets paid the most money, and he could be flexible in a lot of different things. Is his infield skills bad? Oh yeah, is probably one of the worst in the MLB. But it's one of those things where you they totally Red Sox did not handle this situation well in the beginning, and now they're backpedaling. And then
Right.
the second time this comes up, they handled it very well. Cora shot down everything. He's your DH, no questions asked. Then all of a sudden they have another meeting. Breslow and Cora ask going to play first base, and then now Rappy's getting pissed. I understand that they're not keeping it to their word. I do get that if you're a ball player with all the kinds of miscommunications, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you should still be like, all right, yeah, that's fine, but let's talk about this and let's get to the bottom of this instead of calling the press conference the way it was, and everything has just been escalating. It just sounds like
Everything's escalated. And
Cora doesn't
again,
have the locker room. It just doesn't sound like the locker room is, especially old Rafaela stuff too. Like it just doesn't
yeah.
sound like the locker room is bought in to what the Red Sox are putting out there. We're scoring runs. That's not the issue. The defense, phenomenal with Abreu and Rafaela and
Yes.
Campbell and Story, especially Story and Bregman. Bregman, my
And
God.
Bregman, my
But it's
goodness.
the pitching. It's the motherfucking pitching. Our back
I won't even
bullpen.
say pitching. I would say more bullpen than anything else. But yes, I agree.
Well, Tanner
100%.
Houck too. It's like
Oh,
he's going on the
that's a whole
IL. He's
other
not
discussion.
injured. He's not injured. He just needs to get his head straight. I believe Houck will figure it out. I really
He
do.
needs
I
to, and
think,
it's not that I don't believe he can do it, because
yeah,
obviously he can.
but
I've seen
everyone's
it
writing
happen.
him off. Everyone's writing him off. And I understand. I understand.
Mhm.
But I think he will figure it out.
Yeah.
But they're,
Just like Raph did, because he went, what, 0 for 19?
yeah.
And he took the time and he figured it out, and now he's doing fine, right? My whole issue with the Devers thing, and I've said this in the group chat as well, is it is 150%, like if that was a thing, something we never needed to know about.
Yeah, we
Ever.
didn't need to know
This
about it.
whole thing could have happened. Why did we need to know? Why did the
Exactly.
press need to know? Why did the fans need to know? No one needed to know that.
Nobody.
And even though I know it was a reporter that asked the question, like, will you be moving to first? All he had to say was that was a decision between, my manager, Alex Cora, and the front office, and I did discuss. You didn't have to say it the way you did, first of all. You didn't have to say it at all. And then no one's the wiser. Probably would have come out eventually, because that's just how things work. But certainly not. And it didn't need to happen. There was just all the extra drama that honestly just no one needs in life, especially the Red Sox, who are at that point, they're doing pretty good. They're on a streak. And then, they did end up winning the series, but
Yeah.
it's still lingering over. It's still lingering over now. And you've gone through a whole other series. Like, just figure it out. Make the firm and final decision about what's going to happen, because earlier today, last night, Cora was saying, first base is incredibly hard, this, that, and the other. Okay,
Oh, for
make the
fart's
decision
sake.
though. Like, is he playing? Is he not playing?
Right.
And if he's not, just end the discussion and say he's not playing. Why is this still like going on? Why is it still a thing? And the reason, I'm just going to keep talking apparently. And the reason it could still be a thing is because Raffy was so adamantly, I'm not being DH.
Hmm.
I'm not your DH. I'm not going to do that. I'm the third baseman. But then he goes and plays DH. So is him saying it just to wait to air his grievance about the situation, then he's ultimately going to do it anyway?
Hmm.
Is that what's happening? Because that's not benefiting anyone. It's just hurting the clubhouse, like morale in general,
Hmm.
questioning the front office, which is the absolute, like, one of the last things anybody needs as
For
a fan of the
anybody.
Red Sox, right?
For anybody.
Like, anybody in the clubhouse, anybody in the organization, we don't need to be questioning anything at this point. We were in such a good spot
Hmm.
by getting Crochet and Bregman and Walker. And like Raffy's just killing it in the DH role. I'm not going to say he's not. He is, especially since
Hmm.
April. It's just phenomenal.
Hmm.
So end the drama. Like, tell us exactly what's going to happen. It's been a week. It's been
They
a
need,
week.
just like, are they going to continue with Toro? Like,
Yeah.
is that your permanent solution? And if
Is
that
that the
is, we're
answer?
in big trouble. Very
Like,
big
because
trouble.
they didn't use Toro on Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which day it was last week. They had someone else. So figure it out. It's first base. It's not like a position you can just screw around with. Figure it out.
I
Figure
just
it out.
hate. I just hate all of it.
But there's no need for this extra drama on any given day with the Sox. There's just not. And all you've done by not addressing this and getting it taken care of, I think ownership may have been there. Don't quote me on that, but they might have been
Mhm.
there all weekend.
I think they were, to be fair.
Let's go. Figure it out. Yes or no? What's happening? And if he's not, great. Thanks for wasting, a good week of our lives on this particular matter
Yeah.
that doesn't seem to make a difference.
And the crazy part is, like, the defense was good in the set and all everything about the hitting and defense with the Red Sox is just not the problem. I mean, even Narvaez, like, what a revelation at catcher for him, and then Wong has that error. The first game, it was bad. 14-2, extremely bad.
Yeah.
Second and third game, like we
One
would go,
run again. Are you
it would
freaking
always be one
joking?
run and then the extra innings, but it's always our error. And I keep praising the defense, and I'm like, okay, yes, but that's one error Wong. It's like, oh, it had to be Wong. It just had to be Wong. And then the bullpen couldn't do their job. And then we kept getting them back in the game. And then a walk off everywhere. It's so freaking interesting when Campbell, I swear, when Campbell hit that home run, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we won this game. But then I keep thinking, no, Red Sox had done this before. Baez, boom. All the runs being scored last game, Malloy scores again. It's just your typical don't get comfortable. Just don't get comfortable, guys.
Don't get comfortable. But yeah, I mean, especially if it goes to extras at this point, at
For
this
sure.
part of the
Expect
season,
the
which
loss.
is just so not fair, it's just expect the loss. And if I get the win, fantastic. I'm like super excited about it, right?
Right.
I yeah, like it. We ended up we went up 1-0 on last Friday. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And then I just remember who's coming up in the lineup for the Royals. And I was like, oh Lord. Okay. And like I'm mentally prepared, right? Like for
Right.
the loss.
Right.
And which is good because we did. But yeah, the one run thing, and it may have been Murph who put this out there. Like they're gonna lose. I think he said some 70 something games by one run, which is infuriating because so far, right? Like that could happen. Close to anyway. We have definitely lost enough by one run that it's driving me
Insane.
bananas.
And that's
Stop
why
it.
and that's why with this series coming in, we're facing against our old friend Sale, and he's just been killing
Christopher
it.
Allen Sale
He's just been
today.
killing it.
Yes.
He's just been insane. He's been insanely killing it. He is so in their division right now. They're in third, but the Mets and Phillies, it's very tight. So anything could happen with that.
Anything
But
can happen, and it's
but
Chris Sale, and he's back in Boston, right? I mean, they're back in
yeah,
Boston, right?
right. But
It's the revenge tour continues.
they have won. They swept the Nationals. They have won one game out of 3 against Pittsburgh. So this was a get right series for them,
Yeah.
and this is gonna continue. Now it's us that we need to get right, and it's them. Can they continue sweeping us? We got Bello, Giolito, and Crochet facing in Sale on Friday, Giolito Saturday, Bello Sunday. I just don't have any confidence in this team right now. I think
I'm
this is a
still going to say
very
2 out of 3. I'm
I
still
think
saying 2 out of 3 in this
this
series.
is a very winnable series though for
It
both
absolutely
teams.
is.
This could be a sweep or 2 out of 3. It could be 1 out of 3. Me, I think the Red Sox will win 1 out of 3.
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say
Okay.
2 out of 3. The one I'm actually questioning more than anything else, and it's nothing against
Mm-hmm.
Crochet because he is filthy,
Right.
and I was trying to explain that to a fan in
Right.
Kansas City because I kept doing the Lou Merlone like pig thing, and they're like, "Why do you keep calling him that?" Like, because he's filthy. He pitches
Right.
filthy. It's great.
Right.
That's the one I'm more nervous about because it is Chris Sale. Christopher Allen
Exactly.
Sale, who walked himself right out and pitched the last out of the World Series like it was nothing, because that's what he was going to do. No
Right.
one was taking that away from him, kind of thing.
Right.
That's the one I'm more nervous about than anything else. I think Giolito has it. I think Bello has it. I think I'm more nervous about the match with Crochet, and it's nothing against Crochet because he's phenomenal. I think it's more just because it's Chris Sale in Boston, and I don't have anything against Chris Sale. I love Chris Sale, still to this day. Didn't do anything bad to me. So,
Well,
like,
I mean,
thrilled for him that he won the Cy Young.
listen, he with those after years after he got injured. Those were some rough years with Chris Sale.
They were
Only
rough.
when
I
won the
still
World
didn't do anything to me.
Series when it was good, but all the other years it was bad. Then he got traded, and now he's the old Chris Sale again. That's what happens with every Red Sox player changes scenery. So it is what
Yes.
it is. It is what
Kyle
it
from
is.
Waltham.
And we
Yeah,
face
that's
against
right.
our buddy Verdugo, who is hot right now. So that's going to be sucky, but it is what it is. I hope the Red
I did
Sox
see. Yes. Okay. So I have to say this really fast because I
go
was
for it.
like shocked to see this as a Red Sox fan. When I walked in on Saturday,
Hmm.
I saw a woman wearing a Verdugo Red Sox jersey.
No way.
Way. And
Oh
I
wow.
made a comment to my brother who I was with. I was like,
Mm,
that takes a lot. I mean, that's
that's ballsy.
like you really have to like Verdugo to have that jersey still. Like you didn't put masking tape over it or anything.
Right.
Like it's still Verdugo. And he goes, "Where do you see it?" And I was like, I pointed and he goes, That's something you just don't expect to see."
I,
I
d-
was
I, d-
like, "You
I
just
don't.
do not.
I
You
did
don't."
not
In fact,
expect
I
that.
still have my "Please Be Effing Fair" shirts, and I don't even wear them to sleep in. Like they just
Yeah.
stay there. I need to like just give them to the thrift store, honestly, because I'm never wearing them again.
Yeah.
It was a
And
good shirt when he was with us, but yeah, absolutely not. No, I can't do it.
yeah, you can't do it anymore. But what's crazy was I was at Target the other day. There's this Italian couple that had Red Sox jerseys on, and it was crazy. I saw them like, oh my gosh, no way. And so they were walking past me. I did this, and I said, go Sox, and he goes, hey, andiamo, go Sox. And he's from Boston. He's from Boston. His parents immigrated from here
I
from
love
Italy to.
that.
I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, this made my day. It just made my whole day. This was last week.
Do you remember
So,
the names? Do you remember the names on the jerseys? Because that's
well,
always
that's
interesting to me.
that's the thing. His name is Giuseppe, and his jerseys that he had on. His wife had a Ramirez jersey on, but this was the crazy part. He had a Ian Kinsler jersey on.
I'm not mad about Ian Kinsler.
That was nuts. He had Ian Kinsler, and then his wife had a Ramirez jersey. I'm like, okay.
I'm
Kinsler
not
threw
mad
me off
about it.
though. Kinsler threw me off. He
Kinsler,
said he got it for $10 at a thrift store, and I'm like, I can't even argue that. I just can't.
can't argue with it. I mean, Kinsler, I'm not mad about Kinsler though. I will say it does make me very happy every time no matter where I am. Because it
Right.
could be Chicago, it could be Kansas City, it could be Boston, anytime. And I call him Betty Teddy, but it's Benintendi.
Right.
Anytime I see a Benintendi jersey, I just smile. And I went with my childhood best friend and her entire family on Sunday's game, and I was like, "Oh, it's Betty Teddy," and her daughter looks at me like, "What?" And I was like, "Andrew Benintendi, number 16. He was
Right.
part of the best outfield that may have ever existed in baseball."
Oh my gosh, you're not wrong though.
And she was like, "Really?" And I so we're sitting down and I show her pictures, and she's 17 and she's very, "Oh yeah, no, I could get behind that."
Right.
And I tried to explain it like every time it just makes me so happy. And she asked where he was now, and I said, I believe
Oh
he's still on
well.
the White Sox.
Yeah.
I believe he's still on the White Sox, but he did also play for the Royals. Um, yeah. So, but it makes me those some of those older jerseys. There was a guy in front of me on Sunday's game that was wearing a Pavlov jersey, and I was in my Folky shirt, and then on Friday night I wore my Tech shirt, and I was just like, I love seeing the old jerseys and the old school names, and that
Yeah.
people are still fans to this day. And his whole family was there, and they were all in retro shirts, and it was just fun to see.
It is
Fun
fun
to
to
see.
see. Final
Yeah.
thoughts, Leslie, before I give my final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I do think we take 2 out of 3. I'm just not sure how that's going to shake down, which ones are winning. I mean, I have my theory, but just not sure. I'm
Hmm.
going to say 2 out of 3 though, because we absolutely cannot be losing another series.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done
Done.
with it. We can't be doing it.
Can't.
And I know it's the Braves and they're tough, but we can do this.
I
We can
can't
do
do
this.
it.
It's gonna be fun.
My final thoughts is we'll win one game out of 3 games, and then we'll be back to talk about if we're still depressed or not, because the struggle does continue. So for
I know
me,
you would
I'm
have
not
thought
feel com-
happy flight. You would have thought
n-
happy
it's not.
flight going to Detroit, but
No,
apparently that
it's
didn't
not.
happen either. So
It's the Red Sox way right now. We're just not a good
it is.
baseball team right now. But guys, please follow Leslie and Illy Jet on Twitter. This is the Dirty Water Dispatch on BSZ. Please check out our episode. It'll be before the game as well. That is our thumbnail. The struggles continue. Guys, we love that dirty water. Leslie, peace.
Go Celts.
Oh, God.